Hello everyone, this is Clossi, and I'm back with another game review video. Today we have a game with an 11Q versus a 9Q. The 11Q is black, the 9Q is white, and we're reviewing for black. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. So looks like black is almost a single digit Q, so we're going to try to figure out what he needs to do to break into that single digit Q. So it does look like this is a two-stone game. Okay. White's going for a bit of territory. I feel like this is not a good strategy against handicap at 3-3 and 3-3. Simply because it gives your opponent a lot of influence, and that's kind of like the style nowadays, is to make a lot of thickness and influence. So I feel like this is a little good for black, but maybe he just likes confusing his opponent. I don't know. So here I would actually try to take Sente with this variation, and they go here, here, or here, or just go 4 directly. You just take Sente and then you can get back and go over here. Or you can even try and Kobayashi. Make a little Kobayashi setup. You can also try that. Or you can just make a Shimari. Like here. But I would try to get Sente and just build a giant area. But this is fine too. Another option would be, since you don't have an extension right here, to double Hane. And they might try this stuff. Let's see if I recall this. I believe it's here. Here. I think there's a variation we can run here, if there's not a stone here, because this becomes a little good for white. Not sure. Maybe I'm mistaken, but there's a complicated variation there. But if they choose not to do that, and to just connect, then you get nice thickness. And Gote, but still a little bit better. There's also the option that they will go for the points here. And this is what I was kind of getting at, whereas if they go for this variation, then you can get some nice territory. And then they will have to invade the bottom or something later. Because the left side isn't really developable because it's third line. Just another option to consider. It's not like this is bad. Black hasn't made any mistakes. I'm just showing you some more options to think about. So this I actually think... think according to AI, this move is good for black. Because it solidifies the bottom. And the corner can't die. So this kind of Hane actually gives black a tiger's mouth. So it's considered a little good for black. So I think this board is considered good for black. Alright, Shimari. So this is the wrong direction. When you are attacking, you want to push them towards the thickness. So I'd want to make like a Shimari here and push them towards the influence. So you build a Moyo while attacking this group and pushing it towards thickness. And that's how you want to do it. This is a little soft for an attack. Alright, here, this is simple. This is wrong. This is a simple idea to just do this. But because black has 2 walls, I'd want to be a little bit more aggressive. Like something like this. I'd want to at least leave some Aji, be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe white fixes, and maybe you still go back and fix. But you get a couple more forcing moves, and there's a lot more Aji in this area. And some forcing moves on the outside and everything. So it's a lot more active and aggressive than just simply kicking. And since you have 2 walls, like on the top and on the bottom, I think it's a good idea to be a little bit more aggressive here. This is wrong. Second line is wrong. You want them to be on the second line, because second line is bad. So you'd build the bottom. And... would I fix or would I get this extension? This extension is really important. Probably I'll just get the extension. Let's see. Thickness. Let's jump 4. You won't normally want to jump 5, but just for Aji's sake, we'll jump 4. And it'll be simple. Dude, yeah, they can cut and do that, but you can always just make your points. And now 5 is in a good spot. So this would be kind of something I would rather see. But so second line's a little bit slow. Okay. Yep. Push towards thickness. That is Gote, and on the second line again. I would not Tanuki. There is a weak group. You need to use your thickness to attack that weak group, because the thickness actually has no value. So the thickness is worth like 2 points. It's very, very small in value for points. Thickness gets its value when it does something. So either it supports an invasion that destroys points or takes points, or it supports an attack which will gain points, or it'll build a large moyo or something. But thickness by itself actually does nothing. It has to do something. You have to do something with the thickness. I have no idea why that just happened. Go back. Guess the OGS just glitched or something. I don't know. So the thickness has to do something. So you really want this to do something. So what I would prefer to see is some sort of attack on this. You could even just cap. Even just capping here would be good. Simply because on the second line, it's very small, very slow, and you can build a lot of influence here. And then this influence can pressure this and build like maybe 10 to 20 points in the center. So it would get value. But a Tanuki, it's just letting your opponent live with no consequence. You can't let your opponent just go on your side and live so easily. You need to give them at least a little bit of pressure. I think that's wrong direction, but very aggressive. It is handicapped, so... I think a simple jump here would actually suffice. Because you jump, he jumps, and then you cap. Be nice attack. I would connect. Because there's a weak group right here, I want Sente. So I want to reduce the Aji so I can just get to this capping move. I want to put pressure on it. And you can defend yourself while putting pressure. So it's a good counterattack. Here, kind of leaves peep options and cut options, and I just feel like it's unnecessary Aji. Don't go, yep, good. Cap is better because you want to support your weak group that does not have a base while attacking, so it's kind of a counterattack rather than a regular attack. So because you're trying to defend while pressuring. So this is why I want to play on this side to support this group rather than this side to support a living group. Still cap. This shape is perfectly fine. It's bad shape for white to do this, and you still get to defend. So, it's okay. You have a weak group in the top left, so I'm not too comfortable about that. There's also a weak group in the bottom middle, so I feel like this is kind of the third biggest thing to do. Just jump. Because there's too much Aji right here. So just jump. That does not support the weak group. It does block the center, but you want to get the center in Sente, not Gote. So you want to get the center when you're attacking or pressuring or something in Sente. You don't want to build the center in Gote unless it's like half the board. And this is not half the board. This is like less than a quarter of the board. So this is really small because the center is supposed to be built in Sente. This is Dame, actually, because this has 0 points and there's black and white stones everywhere. So this means you were trying to attack this group, but I feel like you should have attacked it sooner. And if you're going to attack, you need to attack more severely. So a good example would be pressure this and peep this and then block its runaway path. Now when it runs away, you're building points in the center kind of for free. So it's kind of like almost 10 points for free. I mean, there's still an opening over here, but you can see that you're getting control of this area pretty much in Sente. And that's what you want to do. That's how you want to attack. This is a defensive move. And you were supposed to be the... Oh, dadgummit, again? I want to try clicking review. I was trying to analyze the game, and I think OGS is just glitching or refreshing, and it keeps messing it up. So I'm just going to make a review. I should have done it from the start, but I forgot, and I was like, it doesn't matter, but apparently it does. Alright, so this move is very slow. So remember, this was thickness. This was supposed to be used to attack something, to be the aggressor, to gain profit. And this thickness is actually now a weak group and defending. So this is this tells me that you failed to utilize this thickness, so this thickness did not get good value. Because remember, white got 10 points in the corner in Sente, so for free. So this thickness was supposed to get at least 10 points back by doing something. And you've gotten like 2 to 4 points in Gote. So, and Gote twice now, because it was Gote Joseki, plus now you're defending it, so it's a second Gote. So it's very, very small and very slow. So this is misusing the 3/3 thickness. So hopefully, if you take anything from this game, it's utilize your thickness. Otherwise, it has no value. All right. And now we are getting to reductions. So it's about to be end game. Well, I say it's about to be end game because this reduction is usually getting to end game, but there's still several weak white groups, so there is chances to attack. So with this, I see 1, 2, 3 weak groups. I would start trying to find an attack. So cut off its escape routes. Don't let it connect. Don't let it connect. And now there's 3 weak groups on the board, and you should have a lot of aggression now to hopefully come up with at least 10 points. at least 10 points by attacking these 3 groups. And on the plus side, you have a very good chance of something dying. I mean, you can't rely on that, but there is a chance. You have made a chance for something to die. At the very least, you should get a lot of profit from a triple attack. So when I see this move, I see that white is saying that both of my groups are alive, and I'm just trying to reduce. But I disagree. I think the board is saying that there are 3 weak groups on the board, so it's very nice to attack. So unsettled and surround and keep them cut. So this is really soft. Way too late to attack. I don't even think there's a cut here anymore without white being able to just Sabaki or something. So way late on this attack. It's like at this stage, I think do something to the right and push the bottom a little bit, get a couple points from each one, and then start end game. Like, to me, it's about to start the end of the game, like the Yosei. So this is way too late of an attack for me. I would, because these stones are here, I don't think surrounding is important anymore, because you're going to get thickness, and remember, thickness is pointless if you don't do something with it. Well, what can you do in this area? So honestly, I would rather play something like this and get like 5 points down here. So because it's the end of the game, I would rather do something like this. And yeah, my opponent surrounds me, and then they run away and connect. Well, okay, I still got like 3 or 4 points, maybe even 5 points. So at the end of the game, when you can't do anything with the thickness that you get from surrounding, then you change tactics and you just start getting some local points and Sente. Very important to be Sente. Very important to be Sente. But you get free points, and that's better than just surrounding if surrounding is Dame. So don't just attack blindly. I mean, there are basics that tell you to attack in a certain way. I know with the Clossi approach, unsettled and surround, and that works like 80% of the time, 90% of the time. I tell beginners that because I want at least 80 to 90% of the time have them make the right choice, rather than them making the wrong choice like 50% of the time because they're guessing. But now, once you understand how attacking works and that attacking is for profit, and you're supposed to be gaining something or doing something, then you can increase your choices to be correct 90 to 95% of the time. So that way most of your moves are gaining profit or threatening something or helping something, just doing something. It's either gaining points, taking points, saving something, or pressuring something. It should be doing one of those 4 things. If you are attacking, you should be getting thickness that do one of those 4 things, or you should be doing something, doing one of those 4 things if you are attacking. And you should be doing it in Sente unless they die, or unless you get something big. it should be Sente. So this to me is a very, very late attack. But I think this is a good game to learn from. I think there's a lot to learn in this game about attacking. It does look like everything interesting is pretty much done. This group is completely live, as far as I know. Yeah. This is never good for attacking. I say never. It's 99% of the time not good for attacking, because that's already a false eye. So that doesn't actually help. So this would be the move you're looking for. That way it's a bulky 5. But then you threaten to connect and it just lives. So, my glance reading here, I'm not reading this out because I don't think it's really important, but my glance reading says this group should live. There may at some point be a way to kill it, so if someone sees it in the comments and they say, hey, you could have killed it at this certain move or at this certain time, it's fine, but it's kind of irrelevant because of these forcing moves. I think it's just going to live, and I'm just assuming it's alive, but even if it died, it's irrelevant to the lesson of this game, which is how to attack. I think is a really big lesson in this game. But this move is very important. That is very, very small and not a good attacking move because it's 1 point, and even if white takes it, it's still a false eye, and you can still block. So it's very, very small and very gote in the attack. So it's too easy for white to live if you do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this review here because I think there was a lot of good lessons already learned. And we're at kind of move 100. And I think the first 100 moves for double-digit Qs is kind of the most important stuff. And even up to 5Q, I think the first 100 moves are really important. But from there, it's just learning endgame and how endgame works. And as long as you try to keep Sente in endgame, I think you're doing good. Okay, that is it for this game review, guys. I really hope you found the attacking lessons helpful and how to use thickness helpful. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.